A wolf pack surrounded the ranch. One dog stood between them and death. They called him Blue, and tonight he would face his greatest test. Wyoming Territory, 1882. The ranch sat in a valley, mountains rising on three sides, winter coming early. Samuel checked the fence line. Australian shepherd at his side, Blue, 4 years old, blue merle coat, one brown eye, one blue eye. The dog stopped suddenly, ears forward, staring at the tree line. A low growl rumbled in his chest. Samuel followed his gaze, saw nothing, just pines, shadows, fading daylight. "What is it, boy?" Blue's hackles rose, body tense. Something was out there. Something dangerous. Samuel trusted his dog's instincts. Always had. Blue had saved the cattle twice before, once from a bear, once from rustlers. The dog knew danger when he sensed it. They hurried back to the ranch house. Samuel's wife, Emma, stood on the porch, worried look on her face. "Horses are spooked, won't settle. Something's wrong." Samuel nodded. "Blue feels it too. We're locking everything down tonight." The ranch wasn't large. 50 cattle, 6 horses, 24 chickens, the house, a barn, a small bunkhouse where their ranch hand, Marcus, slept. But it was theirs, built with their own hands. 5 years of hard work. Samuel wasn't losing it to whatever lurked in those trees. He sent Marcus to secure the barn, move the horses inside, close every door, every window. Emma gathered the chickens, locked them in the coop, extra boards across the door. Samuel loaded his rifle, checked his revolver, set both near the fireplace, within reach. Blue paced the house, back and forth, stopping at each window, sniffing, listening. The sun set, darkness fell fast, cold pressing against the glass. Samuel lit every lamp, wanted to see what was coming, wanted no surprises. Around 8 o'clock, the howling started. Distant, multiple voices, too many to count. Emma's face went pale. Wolves. Samuel had heard stories. Wolf packs driven down from the mountains by early snow, hungry, desperate, attacking livestock, sometimes even people. But he'd never seen it himself, never dealt with it, until now. Blue stood at the front door, rigid, that growl constant now, not loud, just steady, a warning. Samuel moved to the window, peered out. Eyes reflected lamplight, yellow, glowing, circling the house. 1, 2, 5, 8, more beyond the light's reach. "How many?" Emma whispered. "Too many." The wolves tested the perimeter, coming close, retreating, learning the layout, looking for weakness, finding the barn. Marcus appeared at the barn door, rifle raised. "Samuel, they're everywhere!" "Stay inside, don't come out." One wolf broke from the pack, rushed the barn door. Marcus fired, missed. The wolf dodged, returned to the pack. Testing, always testing. The attack came at 9. Coordinated, organized, pack tactics. Half the wolves hit the barn, the other half, the chicken coop. Trying to overwhelm, trying to feed. Blue exploded through the dog door. Samuel hadn't locked it, hadn't thought. The dog was out before he could stop him. "Blue, no!" But Blue was already moving, straight toward the chicken coop, where 5 wolves tore at the boards, trying to break through. The Australian shepherd hit them like lightning, not attacking, driving them back, barking, snapping, creating space between the wolves and the coop. The wolves turned, faced this new threat. Blue stood his ground, 50 pounds against predators twice his size, against 5 of them. Samuel grabbed his rifle, ran outside. The cold hit him like a wall, 20 degrees, maybe less. He fired into the air. The wolves scattered, but not far, just beyond rifle range, watching, waiting. "Get back inside!" Samuel shouted at Blue. The dog refused, positioned himself between the house and the chicken coop, guarding, protecting. Samuel understood. If Blue came inside, the wolves would destroy the coop, kill the chickens, then move to the barn, the horses, then the cattle. This was the stand, right here, right now. Samuel made a decision. "Marcus, can you hold the barn?" "Yes, sir." "Emma, stay in the house, rifle ready." Samuel took position on the porch, Blue in front of him. 30 feet of open ground between them and the wolves. The pack regrouped. Samuel counted 12, maybe 13, hard to tell in darkness. They'd lost the element of surprise. Now they'd use numbers, patience, time. Samuel had 3 problems: limited ammunition, freezing cold, and wolves that could wait all night. He had maybe 40 rounds, couldn't waste them, had to make every shot count. But in darkness, moving targets, difficult at best. The wolves changed tactics. Instead of rushing, they circled, staying just beyond rifle range, testing different angles, looking for the weak point. Blue tracked them, turning, always facing the nearest threat. His breath came in clouds, frost forming on his coat. The temperature kept dropping. Samuel's fingers numbed despite his gloves. How long could they hold this? All night? Till dawn? The wolves had time. They had the cold. They had numbers. Another rush. 3 wolves, from the left. Samuel fired, missed, fired again. 1 wolf yelped, fell, got back up, limped away. Not dead, just wounded. Blue charged the other 2, drove them back. 1 wolf snapped at him, caught his shoulder, drew blood. Blue spun, countered, teeth flashing. The wolf retreated. Blue returned to his position, bleeding, but standing. Emma called from the window, "Samuel, he's hurt!" "I know, but I can't stop him." Midnight passed. The temperature hit 15 degrees. Samuel's ammunition down to 20 rounds. Blue's shoulder bled steadily. The dog shivered now, exhausted, cold, but still standing, still guarding. The wolves sensed weakness, pressed harder, coming closer, bolder, testing more frequently. Marcus fired from the barn, keeping wolves away from the horses. His ammunition running low, too. They couldn't sustain this. Something had to give. Either the wolves gave up, or they broke through. Samuel prayed for dawn, for light, for the wolves to lose interest and move on. But dawn was hours away, and the pack showed no signs of leaving. Blue growled, different sound, urgent. Samuel looked. The alpha approached, huge, gray and white, scarred face, battle-tested. This was the leader, the one directing the pack. If Samuel could kill him, maybe the others would scatter. Maybe. He raised his rifle, aimed carefully. The alpha stopped, staring, assessing. Samuel fired. The wolf moved, impossibly fast. The shot missed, barely. The alpha retreated. But now Samuel had a new problem. The pack knew he'd tried to kill their leader, and they were angry. The pack's aggression doubled. No more testing, no more circling. They wanted blood now. Samuel's blood, Blue's blood. Revenge for the challenge. 4 wolves rushed simultaneously, 2 from the left, 2 from the right. Coordinated, smart. Samuel fired left, hit one. It fell, didn't get up. Blue met the 2 on the right, collided with the first, knocked it sideways. The second wolf closed in, jaws aimed at Blue's throat. Samuel couldn't shoot, too close to Blue, risk hitting his dog. Blue twisted, avoided the bite, countered with his own, caught the wolf's leg, held on. The wolf yelped, tried to pull free. Blue released, drove both wolves back. 3 remained standing, 1 dead, 1 wounded and retreating. Samuel reloaded, hands shaking, from cold, from fear, from adrenaline. 18 rounds left. The night stretched endlessly ahead. 1 o'clock came, then 2. Blue's movement slowed, the shoulder wound taking its toll. Blood loss, exhaustion, cold. But the dog never retreated, never gave ground. Emma tried again. "Samuel, bring him inside, please." "He won't come, and if I force him, they'll rush the coop." It was true. Blue understood the stakes better than anyone. This was his ranch, his family, his livestock. He'd die before letting the wolves through. The alpha appeared again, staying back, directing from safety. Samuel saw the intelligence in those yellow eyes. This wasn't just an animal. This was a tactician, a leader who'd survived countless hunts, countless battles. The alpha sent another wave. 5 wolves this time. Samuel fired, dropped one immediately. 4 kept coming. Blue met them, but he was too slow now, too tired. 1 wolf got past him, headed for the chicken coop. Samuel fired, missed, fired again, hit it in the haunch. The wolf turned, limped back toward the pack. But now the defense was crumbling. Blue couldn't cover everything, couldn't be everywhere. The wolves sensed it. Marcus called out, "Samuel, I'm out of ammunition. Barricade yourself. Don't open that door." Now it was just Samuel and Blue, against 11 wolves. Maybe 10, hard to count in darkness, hard to track with exhaustion setting in. Samuel had 14 rounds, 14 chances. After that, it was his revolver, 6 more rounds, then hand to hand, knives, axes, whatever he could reach. The wolves knew. Somehow they knew. They pressed harder, rushing, retreating, rushing again, wearing down the defenses, bleeding Samuel's ammunition. Blue collapsed, just for a moment, legs giving out. Then he forced himself up, standing again, swaying. Samuel's heart broke. "Blue, come here, boy. You've done enough." The dog didn't move, couldn't abandon his post, couldn't stop protecting. Even dying, he'd keep fighting. Emma appeared at the door, rifle in hand. "I'm helping." "Emma, get back." "No, that's our dog out there, our ranch. I'm helping." She took position beside Samuel, fresh rifle, 20 more rounds. Hope flickered. Maybe they could make it. Maybe. 3 o'clock. The darkest hour. The coldest. 10 degrees now. Blue could barely stand. Emma had fired 8 rounds, Samuel down to 9. The wolves sensed the end approaching. They gathered, all of them, together, preparing for a final massive assault. The alpha led from behind, coordinating, directing. This would be it. Everything at once. Overwhelming force. Samuel and Emma looked at each other. "I love you," she said. "I love you too." They raised their rifles, ready. Blue steadied himself, found reserve strength somewhere. From loyalty, from duty, from love. The pack charged, all of them. A wave of fur and teeth and yellow eyes. Samuel fired, Emma fired. Wolves fell, but more kept coming. Blue met them, alone. 1 dog against 8 wolves. He fought like a demon, spinning, biting, dodging, holding the line through sheer will. Samuel and Emma kept shooting, dropping wolves, creating space, but ammunition evaporating. Samuel's rifle clicked empty. He grabbed his revolver. 6 rounds. That's all that stood between them and death. Then dawn broke. Not slowly, suddenly. Light flooding the valley. The wolves froze, looked around, saw their losses. 4 dead, 3 badly wounded. The alpha assessed, calculated, made a decision. He howled, long, mournful. The pack retreated, slowly at first, then faster. Back to the tree line, back to the mountains, gone. Samuel collapsed against the porch railing. Emma dropped her rifle, started crying. Relief, exhaustion, terror releasing. Blue stood in the yard, surrounded by dead wolves, blood covering his coat, his own, theirs. The dog swayed, legs trembling, then fell. Samuel ran, slid to his knees beside Blue. "No, no, no, no! Stay with me, boy!" Blue's eyes opened, 1 brown, 1 blue, both clouding. "Marcus, get out here! We need help!" Marcus emerged, saw the carnage, the dead wolves, the dying dog. Oh, God! Emma brought blankets, water, bandages. They worked frantically, trying to stop the bleeding, trying to save him. Blue had multiple wounds, the shoulder worst, but also his legs, his side, bites everywhere. Too many, too much blood lost. They carried Blue inside, laid him by the fire. Emma cleaned wounds, applied bandages. Samuel held the dog's head, talking, encouraging. "You did it, boy. Saved us all. Saved the ranch. You're a hero." Blue's tail thumped weakly. Once, understanding. Marcus rode for the doctor, 10 miles to town. But everyone knew the doctor treated people, not dogs. Still, they had to try. Samuel sat with Blue all morning, watching him breathe. Shallow, labored. The dog had given everything, every ounce of strength, every bit of courage. Held off a wolf pack alone for 7 hours. Impossible, but he'd done it. Emma prepared warm broth. They got some into Blue. A little, not much. His eyes stayed closed now, resting, healing, or dying. They couldn't tell. The waiting was agony. Outside, the sun climbed, bright, beautiful, mocking. Samuel counted the dead wolves in the yard. 4, plus blood trails from wounded ones. 8 wolves. Blue had faced 8 wolves and survived, barely. Marcus returned with the doctor. The man took one look at Blue, shook his head. "I don't treat animals, I'm sorry." "Please," Emma begged, "he saved our lives, saved everything." The doctor hesitated, saw the desperation, the love, sighed. "I'll do what I can, but I'm not promising anything." He examined Blue carefully, cleaned wounds properly, stitched the worst ones. "He's lost a lot of blood. Infection is the biggest risk now. Keep him warm, clean, give him water when he'll take it, and pray. The doctor left supplies, refused payment. If he survives, that's payment enough. That dog's got more courage than most men I know. Days passed. Blue fought. Fever came. Samuel and Emma took turns, sitting with him, cooling him with damp cloths, offering water, food. The ranch hand prepared meals, tended the livestock. Let Samuel focus on Blue. On the 5th day, Blue opened his eyes, drank water on his own, ate a little. The fever broke. He would live. Slowly, painfully, he would recover. Samuel cried. Relief, gratitude, wonder. His dog had done the impossible and survived. Recovery took months. Blue couldn't walk for 2 weeks. His legs too damaged, too weak. Samuel carried him outside for fresh air, brought him back in. Emma fed him by hand, coaxing him to eat, to drink, to heal. Marcus built a special bed, soft, warm, near the fireplace. Blue spent his days there, watching the family work, wanting to help, unable to. By the 3rd week, he could stand, shaky, unsteady, but standing. Samuel walked him slowly around the house, supporting his weight, building strength. The shoulder wound healed crooked, left a massive scar. Blue would always limp slightly, always favor that leg. But he was alive, and that's what mattered. Word spread through the valley about the Australian shepherd who fought 8 wolves, held them off till dawn, saved his family. Neighbors came to see, to verify the story. Samuel showed them the dead wolves, still in the yard, frozen now. Proof. They counted the wounds on Blue. 19 bite marks, 19 separate injuries. Impossible, one rancher said. No dog survives that. Blue did, Samuel replied simply. Spring came. Blue grew stronger, started moving on his own, following Samuel again, but carefully, slowly. The old speed gone, the old agility diminished, but the heart remained, that fierce protective instinct. One afternoon, a rancher from 30 miles north visited. His name was William, older man, experienced. Heard about your dog, came to see if it's true. Samuel brought Blue out. The rancher examined him, counted scars, touched the crooked shoulder. Remarkable. I've lost 3 dogs to wolves over the years. Good dogs, strong dogs. None lasted more than minutes. He looked at Samuel. I'll give you $500 for him. Breed him. Those genes need to continue. Samuel didn't hesitate. He's not for sale, not for any price. William nodded, respected that. Figured, but had to try. That's the finest working dog I've ever seen. You're lucky to have him. I know. Believe me, I know. Summer brought challenges. Blue wanted to work, needed to work, but couldn't do everything he once did. Samuel adjusted, gave him lighter duties, watching the cattle from the porch, alerting to strangers, guarding the house. Blue accepted this, understanding his limitations, but hating them. One evening, a young couple arrived, looking to start their own ranch. They'd heard the story, wanted advice. Samuel invited them in. Emma served coffee. "How do you train a dog like Blue?" the young man asked. Samuel looked at the Australian shepherd, sleeping by the fire. "You don't train courage. You don't train loyalty. Those are born in a dog. You just recognize it, respect it, and never take it for granted." The young woman leaned forward. "But the fighting, how did you teach him that?" "I didn't. Blue did what he had to do, what his instincts told him. I just made sure he knew we were worth fighting for. That this ranch, this family, this life, it all mattered. The couple left inspired, grateful. Samuel watched them go, wondered if they'd find a dog like Blue. Doubted it. Dogs like Blue came once in a lifetime. Fall brought wolves again. Not a pack, just two, young males, testing territories. Blue heard them first, that old growl returning, body tensing. Samuel grabbed his rifle, stepped outside. The wolves stood at the tree line, watching, evaluating. Blue limped forward, slow, painful, but forward, standing between them and the ranch. The wolves saw him, saw the scars, saw the crooked shoulder. Something else, too. Something in his eyes, in his stance. They remembered. Maybe not these specific wolves, but the pack remembered. Stories passed down, territory marked. This ranch was protected by something fierce, by something that wouldn't die. The wolves turned, left without challenging. Blue watched until they disappeared, then limped back to Samuel. Mission accomplished. "You didn't even have to fight," Samuel said, scratching behind Blue's ears. They just knew better than to try. Blue's tail wagged, satisfied. The ranch was safe. His family was safe. That's all that mattered. Years passed. Blue aged. Gray appeared on his muzzle. His movements slowed further. The old wounds aching in cold weather. But he never stopped being a guardian, never stopped watching, protecting. Samuel and Emma's daughter was born in 1885. Blue took to her immediately, gentle, patient, letting her pull his ears, ride on his back. He'd lie beside her crib, watching, always watching. When she learned to walk, Blue walked beside her, slow enough to match her pace. If she fell, he was there, nudging her with his nose, helping her up. Samuel watched these moments, heart full. This was why Blue survived, not just to protect the ranch, but to protect her, to be part of this family's future. The scars told his past, his courage, his sacrifice. But his gentle patience with the child showed his heart. Blue wasn't just a warrior. He was family. Winter 1889. Blue passed peacefully in his sleep, beside the fireplace, in the bed Marcus had built 7 years before. He was 11 years old, had lived longer than most working dogs, especially ones who fought 8 wolves. Samuel buried him on the hill, overlooking the ranch, where he could watch forever. The headstone was simple. Blue, 1878 to 1889. He held the line. The daughter, now 4, picked flowers, placed them on the grave. "Bye, Blue. Thank you for keeping us safe." Emma held Samuel, both crying, grateful, heartbroken. They'd had 7 extra years because of Blue's courage that terrible night. 7 years of peace, of safety, of family. That was Blue's gift. Not just surviving, but giving them time. Years later, Samuel told the story to anyone who'd listen, about the Australian shepherd who faced impossible odds, who held off a wolf pack till dawn, who saved his family through pure courage and loyalty. Some believed, some didn't. Samuel didn't care. He knew the truth. He'd seen it, lived it. Blue wasn't just a dog. He was a legend, a hero. And the ranch still stood because of him.
The family still thrived because of him. That night in 1882, when one dog stood against 8 wolves, when courage mattered more than size, when loyalty proved stronger than fear, that night defined everything. And Blue's legacy lived on. In every Australian shepherd that followed, in every working dog that protected its family, in the stories passed down. The lesson remained. Sometimes the bravest warrior is the one who stands alone, who faces impossible odds, who refuses to retreat. Blue taught them that, and they never forgot.